The Galaxy S26 Ultra isn't trying to surprise you anymore. It is trying to convince you. This is a subtle but profound shift in the philosophy of flagship smartphone development, and it marks a turning point for what we can expect from the pinnacle of mobile technology. In previous years, the narrative surrounding new releases was almost entirely built on the element of shock. Manufacturers competed to see who could unveil the most radical redesign, the most impossible camera zoom, or the most futuristic form factor that seemed borrowed from science fiction. The goal was to generate immediate hype, to create a moment of awe that would drive pre-orders within the first 24 hours of an announcement. However, the landscape of consumer technology has changed dramatically. Users are smarter, more skeptical, and perhaps most importantly, they are holding on to their devices for longer periods than ever before. The era of the annual upgrade cycle driven purely by novelty is fading, replaced by a demand for sustained excellence and long-term reliability. The Galaxy S26 Ultra appears to be Samsung's direct response to this evolving reality. It is not designed to make you gasp in disbelief at a launch event. It is designed to make you nod in agreement 3 years down the road, when the device still performs flawlessly. It is trying to convince you that this is the phone you can trust for years, not just months. And once you understand the mindset behind this strategic pivot, everything about this device, from its material choices to its software architecture, begins to make perfect sense. Before we dive deeper into the specifics of what makes this device a potential game changer for the industry, please take a moment to ensure you are subscribed to our channel, Tech Gadget. We are dedicated to bringing you daily tech updates that cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters to your user experience. By subscribing, you ensure that you never miss an analysis of the latest UI changes, design evolutions, or camera improvements that shape the way we interact with our world. Our goal is to keep you informed with clear, research-based insights that help you make better decisions about the technology you bring into your life. Now, let us return to the Galaxy S26 Ultra. A device that feels like the precise moment where Samsung stops reacting to the market pressures created by competitors and starts leading the conversation again based on its own strengths and vision. Instead of pushing extreme redesigns that might alienate loyal users or relying on headline-grabbing gimmicks that lose their charm after a week of use, this phone appears to be built around 3 core pillars: stability, confidence, and long-term value. Every leak, every rumor, and every credible report points to the same overarching conclusion. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is designed for people who actually live with their phone as an essential tool for their daily existence, not just for enthusiasts who admire it on launch day and then place it on a shelf. It is for the professional who relies on their device for critical communication, the creator who needs consistent performance under pressure, and the everyday user who wants a piece of technology that simply works without requiring constant troubleshooting or babying. This shift in target audience is reflected in every aspect of the device's conception, starting with something as seemingly superficial as the color lineup, which tells a much deeper story about the intended lifespan of the product. One of the clearest examples of this mature thinking is the anticipated color palette for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. In the past, smartphone manufacturers often chased trending colors, releasing vibrant neon or overly flashy finishes that looked exciting in marketing renders, but often clashed with professional attire or interior design aesthetics a few months later. These colors were trendy for a season, designed to pop on social media feeds during the launch window, but they rarely aged well. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to arrive in 6 distinct colors, split between standard retail options and online exclusive finishes, and the selection process seems to have been guided by a principle of timelessness rather than trendiness. Pink, gold, and silver shadow are described as subtle, refined, and clearly aimed at users who want something premium without shouting for attention. These are not loud statements, they are quiet assertions of quality. They evoke the feeling of fine jewelry or high-end architectural materials rather than disposable consumer electronics. Complementing these exclusive tones are the core lineup colors black, white, sky blue, and cobalt violet. While these names might sound familiar, the execution reportedly takes them to a new level of sophistication. The black is deeper, absorbing more light to create a seamless look with the display bezels. The white is purer, avoiding the yellowish tints that sometimes plague ceramic or glass backs. The sky blue and cobalt violet offer a touch of personality without sacrificing professionalism, providing a balance that appeals to a wide demographic. These colors are not chosen to dominate the headlines for a week, they are chosen to stay relevant for years. When you buy a phone today, you are likely keeping it for 3, 4, or even 5 years. A color that looks dated after 12 months can make the entire device feel obsolete, even if the internal hardware is still powerful. By selecting a palette that transcends fleeting fashion trends, Samsung is signaling that this phone is an investment. It tells the consumer that the company expects this device to remain stylish and desirable long after the next model is announced. This alone tells us who this phone is really for. It is for the thoughtful buyer who values endurance over ephemeral excitement. Moving from the exterior aesthetics to the heart of the user interface, the display is where Samsung's confidence becomes impossible to ignore. For over a decade, Samsung has been the undisputed leader in display technology, supplying panels to nearly every major competitor in the market. With the Galaxy S26 Ultra, they are not just maintaining that lead, they are attempting to redefine the relationship between the user and the screen. Reports suggest the integration of a revolutionary new anti-reflective coating that dramatically improves visibility in bright sunlight, while simultaneously reducing glare indoors. Anyone who has ever struggled to read a message on their phone while standing outside on a sunny day or working near a bright window knows how frustrating ambient light reflection can be. Traditional screens act like mirrors, forcing users to cup their hands around the device or crank the brightness to maximum levels, which drains the battery and strains the eyes. The new coating on the S26 Ultra reportedly mitigates this issue at a molecular level, allowing the content on the screen to remain crisp and visible regardless of the lighting conditions. Pair this advanced optical engineering with next-generation ultra, strong glass, and Samsung is reportedly aiming to make screen protectors optional rather than necessary. This is a bold move in a world where the immediate instinct for millions of users upon unboxing a new flagship is to apply a tempered glass protector and a bulky case. The industry has conditioned consumers to believe that smartphone screens are fragile by default, prone to shattering at the slightest drop, or scratching from keys in a pocket. By engineering a display that is inherently resistant to these daily hazards, Samsung is challenging that narrative. They are sending a message that the device is built to withstand the rigors of real life, without needing additional layers of protection that can degrade touch sensitivity and visual clarity. Add to this the built-in privacy and clarity improvements, which allegedly adjust viewing angles and contrast dynamically to protect sensitive information from prying eyes in public spaces, and the message becomes even clearer. This display is meant to be used as is. It is a declaration of engineering supremacy, showing how much trust Samsung has in its own manufacturing capabilities. It invites the user to experience the phone in its purest form, removing the barriers between human and machine that we have accepted as normal for so long. Another major shift that aligns with this philosophy of practical longevity comes with the introduction of comprehensive magnetic integration. While magnetic accessories have existed in various forms for years, the Galaxy S26 Ultra appears to be the first device to embed a robust magnetic array directly into its chassis as a core feature of its design language. Built-in magnets across the frame and back of the Galaxy S26 Ultra open the door to a smarter, more cohesive accessory ecosystem that feels less like an afterthought and more like an extension of the phone itself. This is not merely about attaching a wallet or a decorative ring, it is about fundamentally changing how the device interacts with power and productivity tools. A leaked concept of a 5,000 mAh magnetic wireless power bank with a built-in kickstand perfectly demonstrates this direction. This accessory snaps securely onto the back of the phone, aligning perfectly every time without the need for fumbling with cables or ports. The implications of this magnetic ecosystem go far beyond simple convenience. Charging no longer forces you to stop using your phone. In the past, plugging in a device often meant tethering it to a wall or a desk, restricting movement and limiting how the phone could be positioned. With the magnetic power bank and kickstand combination, you can snap the accessory on, prop the device up at the perfect viewing angle, and continue watching videos, participating in video calls, or working on documents while it charges. This seamless integration removes the friction from the charging experience, making it a background activity that supports your workflow rather than interrupting it. It is not flashy in the way that a transparent back or a gaming light strip might be, but it is profoundly practical, and that is exactly why it matters. It addresses a real pain point in the daily usage of smartphones: the anxiety of running out of battery and the inconvenience of being tied down while recharging. By solving this problem with an elegant, magnetic solution, Samsung is enhancing the utility of the device in a way that adds value every single day. This kind of thoughtful innovation is what builds loyalty. It shows that the engineers are thinking about the user's routine, not just the spec sheet. Design evolution is also a critical part of this refinement process, and the Galaxy S26 Ultra reportedly brings a significant change to the iconic camera module that has defined the Ultra series for generations. For years, floating camera lenses, arranged individually on the back panel, have been the signature look of Samsung's top-tier devices. While distinctive, this design had practical drawbacks. The protruding lenses could catch on pockets, the individual rings could collect dust and debris in the gaps, and the asymmetrical arrangement sometimes made the phone wobble when placed on flat surfaces. With the S26 Ultra, leaks suggest a transition toward a more unified camera module, where the lenses are housed within a single, raised island or a flush-mounted plateau. This change is not just aesthetic, it is functional. It improves the structural balance of the phone, distributes weight more evenly, and eliminates the wobble on tables and desks. It gives the phone a cleaner, more cohesive look, integrating the cameras into the overall design language, rather than letting them dominate the rear panel as separate entities. This shift might feel less aggressive to those accustomed to the bold, industrial look of previous models, but it feels more finished. It exudes a sense of maturity and precision engineering. The unified module suggests that the cameras are part of a harmonious system, working together to capture images, rather than a collection of disparate sensors. This is the kind of design that grows on you the longer you use the phone. Initially, long-time fans might miss the distinctive floating lens aesthetic, but as they live with the device, they will likely appreciate the improved ergonomics, the easier cleaning process, and the sleeker profile. It reflects a design philosophy that prioritizes the tactile experience and daily usability over making a loud visual statement. It is a design that says, "I am here to work," rather than, "Look at me." This subtlety is a hallmark of true premium products, where confidence allows the design to speak quietly rather than shout. It aligns perfectly with the overall theme of the S26 Ultra, a device that gains value over time as the user discovers its thoughtful details. Zooming out from the specific hardware features, the Galaxy S26 Ultra reflects a deeper, more nuanced understanding of today's smartphone user. We are living in an era where the rate of technological innovation, while still rapid, is reaching a point of diminishing returns in terms of perceptible differences for the average person. The jump from a 60Hz screen to a 120Hz screen was noticeable and transformative. The jump from a single camera to a triple camera system was revolutionary. But the incremental upgrades we see year over year now are often harder to justify as reasons for an immediate upgrade. Consequently, people are upgrading less frequently. The average replacement cycle has stretched from 2 years to nearly 3 or 4 years in many markets. Expectations are higher because users are keeping their phones longer. They demand durability, long software support, and devices that do not feel outdated or sluggish after a year of use. They want a phone that ages gracefully, both physically and digitally. Samsung appears fully aware of this shift in consumer behavior. Instead of chasing quick hype with features that might seem cool in a commercial, but offer little practical benefit in the long run, the S26 Ultra strengthens the foundation. It focuses on materials that resist wear and tear, usability features that streamline daily tasks, an ecosystem that expands the phone's capabilities, and a commitment to longevity that assures buyers their investment is safe. Performance upgrades, AI enhancements, camera improvements, and battery optimizations are still expected, and they will undoubtedly be impressive. However, based on everything we know so far, these upgrades will support the same core idea: reliability over risk, refinement over noise. The processor will not just be faster in benchmarks, it will be optimized to maintain that speed over years of use without throttling or degrading. The AI features will not just be novelty filters, they will be integrated into the operating system to automate mundane tasks, manage battery life more intelligently, and enhance accessibility for all users. The camera improvements will focus on consistency and low light performance, ensuring that every photo taken, whether today or 3 years from now, meets a high standard of quality. This approach represents a maturation of the smartphone industry. It acknowledges that the smartphone has become the central hub of our digital lives, holding our memories, our work, our finances, and our connections. Treating such a critical device as a disposable gadget that needs to be replaced every 12 months is no longer sustainable or desirable for the majority of users. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is positioning itself as a companion for the long haul. It is a phone that understands that trust is earned over time, not bought with a flashy launch event. It is built to be the reliable constant in a rapidly changing world. The emphasis on long-term software support, likely extending to 7 years or more of major Android updates and security patches, reinforces this promise. It tells the user that Samsung is committed to keeping the device secure, fresh, and functional for the entirety of its usable life. This level of commitment changes the value proposition of the phone entirely. It transforms the purchase from a short-term transaction into a long-term partnership between the user and the manufacturer. Furthermore, the focus on ecosystem integration suggests that the S26 Ultra is designed to be the anchor of a broader network of devices. The magnetic accessories are just the beginning. We can expect deeper synchronization with tablets, watches, laptops, and even smart home devices, creating a seamless flow of data and functionality across the user's digital environment. This interconnectedness adds another layer of stickiness to the device. Once a user is invested in an ecosystem that works this smoothly, the incentive to switch to a different brand diminishes significantly. The cost of leaving becomes not just the price of a new phone, but the loss of a carefully curated and highly efficient digital workflow. Samsung is leveraging its position as a conglomerate with interests in everything from memory chips to home appliances to create an experience that is difficult to replicate. The S26 Ultra is the key that unlocks this kingdom, and by making the key itself so durable and reliable, they ensure that users stay within the realm. The narrative of the Galaxy S26 Ultra is also a commentary on the state of innovation itself. For a long time, the tech industry operated under the assumption that bigger, faster, and louder was always better. This led to a cycle of excess, where phones became unwieldy, batteries drained quickly due to power-hungry features, and designs became increasingly fragile in the pursuit of thinness. The S26 Ultra suggests a correction to this trajectory. It proposes that true innovation lies in optimization, in doing more with less, in creating experiences that feel effortless rather than overwhelming. It is about refining the edges, smoothing out the rough spots, and perfecting the fundamentals. This is a harder path to walk than simply adding a new sensor or increasing the megapixel count. It requires a deep understanding of user behavior, a willingness to say no to features that do not add genuine value, and the confidence to stand by a product that prioritizes substance over style. But it is also the path that leads to genuine customer satisfaction and brand loyalty. Consider the psychological impact of owning a device that feels intentional. When you hold the Galaxy S26 Ultra, the weight distribution, the texture of the materials, the responsiveness of the buttons, and the clarity of the display all communicate a sense of purpose. There is no feeling of compromise or rushed engineering. Every element feels like it was placed there for a specific reason, to serve a specific function in the user's life. This creates a sense of calm and confidence in the user. You do not worry about dropping it, because the glass is strong. You do not worry about the battery dying, because the optimization is intelligent. You do not worry about the software becoming obsolete, because the support timeline is extensive. This reduction in anxiety is a significant, albeit intangible, benefit of the device. In a world filled with uncertainty and constant notifications, having a tool that you can absolutely rely on is incredibly valuable. The S26 Ultra aims to be that tool. It seeks to be the one thing in your pocket that just works, day after day, year after year. Moreover, the strategy behind the S26 Ultra addresses the growing concern regarding electronic waste and sustainability. By building phones that last longer, both physically and digitally, manufacturers can help reduce the massive amount of waste generated by the annual upgrade cycle. While this may not be the primary marketing slogan, it is a beneficial byproduct of the philosophy of longevity. Consumers are becoming increasingly environmentally conscious, and they are looking for brands that align with their values. A phone that is designed to last 5 years is inherently more sustainable than one designed to last 2. Samsung's move toward durability and long-term support can be seen as a step towards responsible manufacturing. It shows an awareness of the broader impact of their products on the planet. This resonates with a segment of the market that votes with their wallets, choosing products that reflect their commitment to a more sustainable future. The S26 Ultra, therefore, is not just a technological achievement. It is a statement of corporate responsibility. Let us also consider the role of artificial intelligence in this new paradigm. While AI has been a buzzword for several years, its integration into the S26 Ultra seems to be moving from novelty to necessity. The AI features are likely to be deeply embedded in the user interface, working silently in the background to enhance the experience without demanding attention. Imagine an AI that learns your usage patterns and loads the apps you need at specific times of the day, making the phone feel faster and more responsive. Imagine a camera system that uses AI not just to beautify photos, but to accurately reconstruct details in low light, or to remove unwanted objects seamlessly, preserving the authenticity of the moment. Imagine a voice assistant that truly understands context and can execute complex multi-step commands without confusion. These are the kinds of AI enhancements that add real value to the daily life of the user. They are not parlor tricks, they are productivity boosters and quality of life improvers. By focusing on practical AI applications, Samsung ensures that the intelligence of the phone serves the user, rather than the user serving the hype of the technology. The camera system, a cornerstone of the Ultra series, is also evolving in line with this philosophy. While we expect improvements in sensor size and zoom capabilities, the real story is likely to be in the consistency and reliability of the image output. The goal is to ensure that every shot, whether taken by a professional photographer or a casual user, looks great. This means better dynamic range, more accurate color reproduction, and superior stabilization. It means a camera that can handle challenging lighting conditions without failing. It means a video recording experience that is smooth and professional grade, suitable for content creators who rely on their phones for their livelihood. The unified camera module design supports this by providing a more stable platform for the lenses, reducing vibrations and improving the overall optical performance. The message is clear: the Galaxy S26 Ultra is a tool for creation, not just consumption. It empowers users to capture their world with clarity and confidence, knowing that the device will not let them down when the moment matters. Battery technology is another area where the focus on longevity shines through. With the inclusion of more efficient processors, optimized software, and potentially new battery chemistries, the S26 Ultra aims to deliver all-day battery life that remains consistent over the years. Battery degradation is a common complaint among smartphone users, with many finding that their device barely lasts half a day after a couple of years of use. Samsung's approach suggests a commitment to mitigating this issue, perhaps through advanced charging algorithms that protect the battery health or through the use of more durable battery materials. Combined with the magnetic charging ecosystem, the power management of the S26 Ultra is designed to be hassle-free. Users should not have to constantly monitor their battery percentage or carry heavy power banks everywhere they go. The phone should simply keep up with their demands, from morning until night, and for years to come. This reliability is crucial for users who depend on their phones for navigation, communication, and work throughout the day. In conclusion, the Galaxy S26 Ultra represents a significant maturation in the smartphone industry. It is a device that rejects the notion that innovation must always be loud and disruptive. Instead, it embraces a philosophy of steady, thoughtful progress. It is a phone that tries to convince you of its worth through its actions, not its words. Through its timeless design, its durable display, its practical magnetic ecosystem, and its commitment to long-term software support, it makes a compelling case for being the last phone you will need to buy for a very long time. It is not a phone that tries to impress you once and then fade into obscurity. It is a phone that keeps delivering value every single day. And that is what makes the Galaxy S26 Ultra so interesting and potentially transformative. It does not feel experimental or rushed. It feels intentional. Samsung is not guessing anymore. They are executing a plan they clearly believe in, a plan that aligns with the real needs and desires of modern consumers. So, the real question facing the market is not whether the Galaxy S26 Ultra will be powerful. Given Samsung's track record and the leaked specifications, it undoubtedly will be. The processing power, the display quality, and the camera capabilities will be at the forefront of the industry. The real question is whether this calmer, smarter, long-term approach is exactly what flagship buyers want right now. Are consumers ready to embrace a phone that prioritizes reliability and longevity over the thrill of the new? If the answer is yes, and all signs point to a growing desire for such devices, then the Galaxy S26 Ultra might not just succeed in sales figures. It might redefine what a premium smartphone should be. It could set a new standard for the industry, forcing competitors to rethink their own strategies and prioritize durability and user experience over gimmicks. Sometimes, the biggest upgrade isn't a new feature or a higher number on a spec sheet. It is a better philosophy. It is the realization that the best technology is the kind that disappears into the background of your life, supporting you effortlessly and reliably. The Galaxy S26 Ultra seems poised to be exactly that kind of technology. It is a testament to the idea that true innovation is not about changing everything, but about perfecting what matters most. As we await the official unveiling, the anticipation is not just for a new set of features, but for a new way of thinking about the devices that connect us to the world. Thank you for joining us on Tech Gadget for this in-depth look at the future of flagship smartphones. If you found this analysis helpful and insightful, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more daily tech updates. We strive to bring you clear, conversational, and research-based content that helps you navigate the ever-evolving world of technology. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will continue to explore the latest developments in UI changes, device design, and user experience. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep trusting in technology that works for you.